You just agreed to let someone borrow $5. 3 days later, that same person asks you to co-sign a loan for $5,000. And shockingly, you're 4 times more likely to say yes. This is called the foot in the door technique, and it's being used on you right now. By marketers, by salespeople, by your own friends and family. And you probably have no idea it's happening. In July of 2026, new research revealed that this single psychological trick is responsible for billions of dollars in sales every single year. But it goes way beyond money. It's how cults recruit members, how toxic relationships trap victims, how people end up making massive commitments they never intended to make. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this technique before it controls your decisions. But first, let me show you where this all started. 1966, two psychologists, Jonathan Friedman and Scott Fraser, wanted to test something radical. Could getting someone to agree to something tiny make them agree to something enormous? They went door to door in a California neighborhood with an outrageous request. They asked homeowners to install a massive, ugly billboard in their front yard that said, "Drive carefully." Not surprisingly, only 17% agreed. Who wants a giant eyesore destroying their property value? But then they tried something different. 2 weeks before asking about the billboard, they approached a different group of homeowners with a tiny request. Just sign this petition for safe driving. Takes 5 seconds. Completely harmless. Almost everyone signed. Why wouldn't you? It's just a signature. No commitment. No cost. Then 2 weeks later, they came back with a billboard request. The results were absolutely shocking. 76% of people who signed the petition agreed to the billboard. That's more than 4 times higher than the control group. One tiny yes turned into a massive yes. But how? What happened in those people's brains during those 2 weeks? The answer lies in something called self-perception theory. When you agree to a small request, your brain creates a story about who you are. You sign that petition? Well, you must be the kind of person who cares about safe driving. That becomes part of your identity. Your brain literally rewrites your self-image. Then when the big request comes, you're trapped. Saying no would create something psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Your actions wouldn't match your identity. Your brain hates that feeling. It's painful, uncomfortable. So instead of dealing with that discomfort, you just say yes again. It feels consistent. It feels right. A 2026 neuroscience study using brain imaging found that this process activates the same reward centers as eating chocolate or receiving a compliment. Staying consistent with your previous decision literally feels good. Your brain releases dopamine. That's why this technique is so powerful. You're not being forced. You're being chemically rewarded. Now here's where it gets scary. Once you understand this, you start seeing it everywhere. Free trials. That's foot in the door. They get you to say yes to 7 days free. No commitment, but you enter your credit card. You set up your account. You invest time. Now you're a user of that service. When the trial ends, canceling feels like admitting you wasted your time. So 70% of people stay subscribed, even if they barely use it. Retail stores use this constantly. Can I help you find something? Just browsing? No pressure. But now you've engaged. You've accepted help. You've started a relationship. Studies show you're 63% more likely to make a purchase after accepting assistance, even if you said you were just looking. Charities are masters of this. First, they ask you to sign a petition or wear a ribbon. That's the small yes. You're now someone who supports their cause. 6 months later, they ask for money. And research shows that people who took that first small step donate at rates up to 5 times higher than cold contacts. Even social media uses this against you. Like this post. Takes 1 second. Now you've publicly endorsed something. You've taken a micro action. Later, you see a fundraiser from that same person. You already like their content. You're invested. Saying no feels cold, feels inconsistent. So you donate. But here's where this technique crosses from clever marketing into genuinely dangerous territory. Cults use foot in the door as their primary recruitment strategy. First, they invite you to a free dinner. Just come listen. No commitment. Sounds harmless. You attend. You meet friendly people. They ask you to come to one more meeting. Just one more. You've already been once, so you think, why not? Each meeting, the requests get bigger. Volunteer for an hour. Donate $50. Bring a friend. Cut ties with negative family members. Move into the compound. By the time the requests become extreme, you've already built an identity. You're a member. You're committed. Backing out means admitting you were wrong from the start. Abusive relationships follow the exact same pattern. The first request is small. Can you skip hanging out with your friends just this once? I need you tonight. You agree. Now you're someone who prioritizes a relationship. Next time, the request is bigger. Don't talk to that person anymore. They're bad for us. Before you realize it, you've cut off your support system, changed your entire life, and you can't even remember how you got there. That's the foot in the door technique weaponized. So how do you protect yourself? How do you say no when your own brain is working against you? First, recognize the pattern. Anytime someone starts with a small, easy request and you sense that something bigger might be coming, stop. Just pause. Ask yourself, would I agree to the biggest version of this request right now? If someone asked me to install a billboard tomorrow, would I say yes? If the answer is no, then say no to the small request too. Second, break the identity chain. Saying yes once doesn't define who you are. You can donate to one cause without becoming a lifelong donor. You can try one meeting without becoming a member. Your past actions don't obligate your future decisions. That's a story your brain tells you, but it's not reality. You can change your mind. You can walk away. Third, create a waiting period. Tell yourself you'll never make a decision immediately after saying yes to something small. Wait 24 hours. The spell breaks when you step away. Understanding this technique doesn't just protect you. It helps you understand why you've made certain decisions in your past. It removes the shame. You weren't weak. Your brain was being hacked. If this video opened your eyes to how your mind really works, hit that like button and subscribe to the Human Mind Daily. We post videos every single day breaking down the psychology behind everything you do. The foot in the door technique works because your brain craves consistency more than it craves truth. But now you know the trick. Now you can see it coming. And that changes everything.